Hello everybody, Looking for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new video. Now, feed jump has been leaked, and we got a lot to talk about, and I am so hyped for all this. So, first thing I checked whenever I woke up this morning is YouTube, and oh hey, look, everybody's talking about the new OCG ban list. I go to YG organization to check it out, and feed jump's leaked, and oh my god, this is making me just want to skip over Shining Victories and go straight into freaking the Dark Illusion even more. Sadly, won't be able to do that, and then I would also miss out on my Blue Eye stuff. So, let's get on with this. So, as you can see, we are getting a Synchro Fusion. Synchro Fusion. That'd be cool, though. Synchro-Pendulum. Okay, so this is really awesome. I was expecting it to be like a mishmash of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and Clearwing Synchro Dragon, but that's not the case. Instead, we're getting basically a level up of Enlightenment Paladin. This thing is called Nirvana High Paladin. He's a level 10 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum Effect Synchro Monster. Attack 3300. That is amazing. Like, I absolutely love that. But considering he's a level 10, and he's also kind of hard to summon because you need a tuner, you need a non-tuner Synchro Monster to go into him. It's understandable why he has such high attack points. Also, he has 2500 defense. That's not bad. You're never going to shove this thing into defense. Pendulum skill of 8, I like that quite a bit. Sadly, right now, in Magician of Odd Eyes, there's not many high skill pendulum monsters, so this could help out in that regard. Excuse me. If your pendulum monster attacks, that monster is not destroyed by battle, and battle damage your opponent takes as a result, battle damage you take as a result becomes 0. At the end of the damage step of your pendulum monster's attack, until the end of the turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to that monster's attack. So the easiest way to kind of like sum this up is if one of your pendulum monsters attacks, like let's say you have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon out, and your opponent has like BLS. You attack into Odd Eyes, you attack with Odd Eyes, you won't take any damage because of Disguise effect, and your Odd Eyes won't be destroyed. Then your opponent's monsters will lose 2500 attack. That is really, really insane. And this is really good, but however, I don't see this guy going in your pendulum zone very often. Well, not really all that often. I mean, he's going to become a prime target if you summon this thing, and you'll see why here in a second. So, in order to summon him, you need a tuner plus one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. Easiest way I can think of is like a level 2 tuner and Enlightenment Paladin. But you won't really be using just any old tuner, because if you would synchro summon this card, you can treat one pendulum summon pendulum monster you control as a tuner. Now, this is nice because it makes it to where you don't need, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't need to run tuners. Although you do technically run 2, which is Noble Dragon Magician and Tuning Magician. Both of them are pretty good in their own respects, but they can't go into this thing. So this is nice. It basically lets you turn any of your dudes into tuners to be able to go into them. The two easiest ways I can think of is basically a level 2 guy with Enlightenment Paladin, or a level 3 with any like level 7 Synchro monster, which would probably be like Moonlight Rose Dragon, or Clearwing, or Meteor Burst, something like that. So he's not too hard to go into in Magician Odd Eyes, but he's not going to be busting out like 3 of every turn or anything. If this card is synchro summoned using a pendulum summon pendulum monster as a tuner, and this kind of makes it why you want to do that, you can target one card in your graveyard, add that card to your hand. That is really, really good, just being able to get back any card. It's an upgraded version of Enlightenment Paladin's effect, which makes me only think more that this thing's just an upgraded Enlightenment Paladin. And it just is really, really, really nice. Just being able to get back anything. You can get back a spell, a monster, a trap, or whatever you want. You can get back Pendulum Call. You can get back. Trying to think of what traps, which isn't obvious, but you can get back your trap hole cards if you're playing in them. You can get back everything. That is just really, really nice. If this card is destroyed, If card is destroyed. God dang it, my organization. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, half your opponent's life points. Well, it says you can, but let's face it, you're going to all the time. So, if this monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, doesn't have to be sent to the graveyard, doesn't have to be sent to the extra deck, nothing like that. you can just half your opponent's life points. And this thing's going to be able to attack over pretty much everything. I can't think of anything in the current meta that even comes close to reaching this thing's attack power. I mean, the highest attack power monster I can think of in the current meta that people actually play like any number of is Dark Destroyer, and he's got 3,000 attack power. That's still 300 off. So this thing is going to be able to attack over pretty much everything, and that is just such a stupidly good effect. I don't know why Konami gave it that effect, because, okay, more than likely, you're going to have this guy and, like, 3 other monsters out, okay? I mean, if you take into the, that's, if that's the turn that he was Synchro Summon. So, yeah, you're going to have, at minimum, like, 3 other monsters out, generally speaking, and Magician Out Ice. And that means you can just finish off your opponent right then and there unless they have a crap ton more high attack power monsters. And then he has the same thing that Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon has, where if he is destroyed in the monster zone by battle or card effect, place this card into the Pendulum Zone. I really like that effect, although I kind of like Odd Eyes Rebellion's effect a bit more, okay? And the reason being is that Odd Eyes Rebellion destroys all of your Pendulum Zones, and then goes into the Pendulum Zone. This guy, he just goes into it, so you need to have an open space just in case, which is a bit annoying. But however, it's still nice that he goes into the Pendulum Zone like that. And heck, even if you have a full Pendulum Zone, you can generate. Heck, actually no, he's level 10, and there's nothing on here that says that. Wow, how are you supposed to Pendulum Summon him? There's nothing on here that says if you could. Oh wait, no, I don't think they need that because this guy is a Synchro, not an XC, so he has a level instead of a rank. Okay, so yeah, if you somehow manage to have scale like 11, a Pendulum scale of 11, you could Pendulum summon him back. But currently, I can't think of any way that Magician Out Ice can do that, so if he dies, he's staying in your X-Jack face up. Performer Power Life Swordsman. I like this card. He's not very good though. I could see him possibly being like useful in like retro Monarch decks or something, but he's not very great. So when your opponent's he's a Light Warrior, level 1, attack 0, defense 0. When your opponent gains life points, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to the amount of life points your opponent gained. When this card is tributed, you can target one face-up monster on the field. That monster gains a 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. I kind of like that second effect, but I kind of wish it was just once per turn you can target a face-up monster on the field, it gains a 1,000 attack. But hey, whatever. He's okay. He's not very great either. Also, can I just say, this this card art looks more like a Psychic Monster's card art. You know, like an old Psychic Monster's card art rather than a Performer Power Monster's card art. So next up we have Acrobat Magician, level 5, Dark Spellcaster type Pendulum Effect Monster. 800 attack, 2300 defense, Pendulum scale of 2. Not bad for the scales and stuff, and his attack and defense. I kind of wish those are swapped because we need more beaters in Magician Out Eyes, not more defenders. We got plenty of those. So the Pendulum effect of Acrobat Magician can only be used once per turn, and that is when a monster on your side of the field is destroyed by an effect spell summon this card from the Pendulum Zone. Not bad, only really going to happen if like your opponent tries to Geki your board and attack for game. If a spell or trap card's activation is negated, you can spell summon this card from your hand. That's its monster effect. And when this card is destroyed by battle, you can place this card into your Pendulum Zone. I like that effect. Honestly, I really do. It's not bad at all. If I had to take a guess as to like what's going to happen in the TV show, is that Yu is going to summon out this thing. Probably also have this guy out. Jack is going to make this guy. And speaking of this guy, and yeah, I'm just kind of like putting together what's probably going to happen in the TV show. I have not seen the newest episode yet because it has not been subbed to my knowledge yet. I checked before this and still no subs. Anyways, new Red Dragon Archfiend monster. Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant. This is such a good time to be a fan of Red Dragon Archfiend because Jesus Christ, we are getting all the stuff from the manga. We've gotten most of it. We're getting the rest of it in Premium Gold coming out soon, and now we're getting upgraded versions of everything, and it's just so nice. This guy is really good. And I'm going to stop pandering and let's get on to this. Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant, level 10 Dark Dragon type Synchro effect monster. attack 3,500, defense 3,000. This guy is basically the anime version of Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. There was no, I guess the only other real equivalent of Red Dragon Archfiend Bane in the anime was maybe Majestic Red Dragon, but Red Dragon Archfiend didn't have very many forms for the anime. There was Majestic Red Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which was from an OVA special thing, and freaking Red Nova Dragon. That was it. Now, this thing does have the same stats as Red Nova, but however, I don't consider this thing to be the new version of Red Nova because this guy's level 10. Red Nova is level 12, so I'm expecting an upgraded version of Red Nova soon. So, attack 3,500, defense 3,000, materials 2 tuners plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. I'm not sure how I feel about it being generic, but hey, whatever. This card cannot be special summoned except by Synchro Summon. The 1 and 2 effects of Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant can only be used once per turn, respectively. Once, during your main phase 1, destroy all cards on the field except this card. During this turn, monsters you control other than this card cannot attack. So basically, once per turn during your main phase, you can destroy all other cards on the field. That is really, really stupid. I can only really see that being used when you don't already have your other boards, like the other cards on your board set up. Like, if you have this guy and like all the other versions of Red Dragon Archfiend that we have, you're not going to be using that effect. So, next up is when a spell trap card is activated during the battle phase, negate that card's effect, and so activation and destroy it, then this card gains 500 attack. I love this effect, okay, because one of the biggest issues with Red Dragon Archfiend, like the deck, is they have a tough time dealing with battle traps. Up until this guy is coming out, the only real way that they have a way to deal with it is with Abyss's effect to negate it. But you generally, you might have already used it that turn. You can only use it once per turn. So even if you have multiple Abyss out, you can't negate 2 things. It's very, very annoying. So the fact that this guy just blanketly negates every single spell or trap card that is activated during the battle phase, and he gets 500 more attack for that, that is really, really good. And heck, it even negates years, so you gotta be careful about that. Okay, so you can't activate, like, I'm trying to think, like, it even goes for your opponent's battle phase, so you can't activate battle traps while this guy's on the field either, otherwise he'll just negate it and gains 500 attack. I like this guy a lot, but he still has the same issue as most other Red Dragon Archfiend monsters. That is that he has like no way of protecting himself. Okay, King Calamity, when he comes out, your opponent can't do crap. Red Nova Dragon, he can't be destroyed by card effects. And that's it. Okay, Abyss can negate a spell or trap card. Or I think even monster effect as well. Yeah, so Abyss can also negate monsters and stuff. But that's 3 out of, 8 Red Dragon Archfiend monsters that have built-in protection. And, heck, Red Novas can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Doesn't even matter anymore since nobody really uses destruction effects anymore. So you gotta, so you can just spin it back with Castel or psych it up with Honor Arc, which is very, very annoying. But I don't know. I hope to see a level 12 Red Dragon Archfiend monster. I like this card a lot, and he's definitely going to be at least a 1-up in the deck, though. So yeah, moving on. Red Mirror. The 1 and 2 effects of Red Mirror can only be used once per turn, respectively. When your opponent's monster clears an attack, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target 1 Fire Fiend type monster in your graveyard, except itself, add that monster to your hand. I like that effect a lot. It lets you get back Red Resonator, it lets you get back Red Sprinter, and it lets you get back the other red monster whose name escapes me right now. He was revealed on Twitter a while ago, so you guys didn't see that. I can't remember what he was called for the life of me. By the way, Red Mirror is a level 1 Fire Fiend monster if it's 0 attack and 0 defense. If this card is in your graveyard and you Synchro summon a monster, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. This effect cannot be activated during the turn this card is sent to the graveyard. So he's able to recur stuff from the graveyard, and he's able to recur himself from the graveyard. I like that a lot. He's a really good monster, just being able to get back stuff, and heck, even if he's it doesn't matter how he gets in the graveyard, you can just add him back whenever you Synchro Summon. I believe you can even get him back, let's say you use him for a Synchro Summon, I believe you can even get him back from the graveyard for the Synchro Summon you just went into. I don't know. That might depends on how it's ruled and worded and everything. So King Scarlet, it's a continuous trap card. When your Red Dragon R2 monster battles during damage calculation, your opponent cannot be destroyed by battle. And then special this card is a normal monster card, Fiend type tuner, level 1, fire, attack 0, defense 0, and the monster summon this card is still treated as a trap card. So I think how Jack goes into this guy is he summons this thing, uses this thing's effect to come out, and then goes into this guy because this is a level 10, 1, 2, so yeah. Movie pack stuff. Finally, we know pretty much everything out of the movie pack except for the Hokai, which still bothers me. I want to know what those things do so bad. So, Barrier Magician Girl. This is adorable. It's a little baby. Level 1 Earth Spellcaster type effect monster. Attack 400, defense 400. Decent stats for a level 1. Better than 0/0. If this card is normal summon, you can add a Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. It can even search itself, which is pretty nice. So it's a Stratos. Get any of these Falling Magician Girl monsters or Dark Magician Girl, which is pretty nice. Stratos, you know. Stratos is Stratos. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack by an opponent's card effect, change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon a Magician Girl monster from your deck except itself. I like this effect quite a bit. I wish it would negate the attack, but hey, whatever. I mean, otherwise it'd just be literally Maiden of Eyes of Blue, but for Magician Girls. I mean, it already is, but it doesn't negate the attack. So you can get Dark Magician Girl, you can get any of the Falling Magician Girls, you can even get the one that is like a V-Jump promo. I think it's over here, yeah, June's V-Jump promo. Yeah, you know, just all these tags. There it is. It is Choco Magician Girl. Yeah, and these Magician Girl artworks are totally not going to get censored, guys. Like, if you just look at these things, I'm like, wow, guys, okay, you just really, really want to drive the censorship boards crazy. So, yeah, I like this card a lot. It's able to get any of your monsters out, this thing, which I can't make out the attack points, but it looks like 1800. So, anyways, moving on. Apple Magician Girl, level 3, Fire Spellcaster, Fire Spellcaster type effect monster. 1200 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can spell summon a level 5 or lower Spellcaster type monster from your hand and change the attack target to that monster, and the attacking monster's attack is halved. Okay, I like that effect. I wish it was level 6 or lower so that you could summon Dark Magician Girl, but hey, whatever. When this card is destroyed by battle or an effect, target up to 3 other Magician Girl monsters of different names in your graveyard. Add those cards to your hand. This means 3 target monsters must have different names. Note that you can't target a second dead apple, which is you can't? 3 other Magician Girl. I don't know. I'd have to wait for the ruling on that. I mean, if this is 3 other, whatever. Anyways, it's a good monster. I wish it had a bit more attack, but hey, it's a level 3, so it's understandable why it has such a low attack. Okay, so Kiwi Magician Girl, level 5, Wind Spellcaster type effect monster, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. During each player's turn, you can discard this card from your hand. Magician Girl monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense times a number of different Magician Girl monsters on the field and in the graveyard until the end of the turn. Effect number 2, Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by effects or targeted by opponent's effects. I like this card a lot. I just wish it was a bit beefier. It only has 1800 attack. I get it how they're kind of like the attack and stats and all that stuff is a throwback to how stats are done back in like the old days. But still, guys, seriously, a level 5 of 1800 attack that has no way of summoning itself. That is just really stupid. I mean, yeah, you can summon it off of Apple Magician. Yeah, you can summon it off of Berry Magician. But it's not very great. Now then, for the Collector's Pack. I believe this is going to be called Dragons of Legend, like, Extreme or something like that. I can't remember. And what is up with all these tags? It's kind of crazy. So, we're finally getting Red Nova, which I am so happy we are, because this thing helps out Red Dragon Archie a lot. So for those of you who don't know, this is Red Nova. He's a tuner, fire level 1 fairy tuner effect monster. This is This and some other tuners is what I think it was this and Dark Resonator is what Jack used to synchro Red Dragon Archfiend into Red Nova. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm just kind of going off of levels and my fake memory of 5Ds. If a level 8 or higher Dragon-type Synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon one Red Nova per turn. I really like that effect just alone. It's so nice. So if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material for a Synchro summon using 2 or more tuners, you can special summon one Fire Fiend type monster from your deck in defense position. I really like this effect, okay? This card overall is just amazing. So the easiest way, again, is to normal summon out like Dark Resonator, have good old Red Dragon Archfiend or any of his variants out, special summon this dude, synchro him to any of the various different versions of Red Nova there are, whichever one you need to, and whichever one you can, and then you can get out a Fire Fiend type monster from your deck. So ideally you would want to go into like Red Nova. Red Nova would at base value have 4,500 attack power, and heck, that's not even 5,000 attack power because of the tuner used for the synchro summon of freaking Red Dragon Archfiend. That's not counting like if it's super late game or anything. Special summon Red Resonator from your deck. Red Resonator's effect targeting Red Nova. Oh, hey, look at that! I gained 5,000 life points. Oh, that'd be awesome. Alrighty, we are getting Cardians. Thank God I didn't do a what is it called? Anime deck discussion on Cardians. I was actually very much thinking about it. So we're getting them. Let me just say, if they have the exact same effects as they did from the anime, because I've been playing around with this deck on YGL Pro, the deck is not going to be meta at all. Which kind of sucks because it's a very fun deck to play when it goes off, and that's the issue, is that it is very, very hard to get the deck going. So this is their boss monster. They do have a level 10, but he's not as good as this guy, and I don't know if we're getting him or not. So oh well. So Cardian Minashiko, I think that's his name. Sorry, I'm not very good at Japanese. Dark level 8 warrior synchro effect. 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. That is amazing stat lines for this guy. 1 tuner plus 3 non-tuner monsters. And he's a level 8. Yeah, that's pretty good. Guardian monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects and cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. That goes for him as well. So if your opponent your opponent can't effect filler him, they can't finish chain him, they can't like dark hole him, they have to run this guy over by battle. During your opponent's draw phase, if they perform their normal draw, inflict 1,500 points of damage to your opponent. That is a crap ton of points of damage, and that can build up very fast. Heck, 2 turns, oh hey, that's 3,000 damage. The issue with this is that it's also not very much. I mean, people pay people pay that amount all the time for triple solemn strike and stuff. So it's going to take a while to kill your opponent, but it will, and that's not even counting if he like attacks or anything. But still, it's like it's such a I honestly kind of wish they would have bumped it up to 2,000 from the anime instead of 1,500, but oh well, it's still, don't get me wrong, that's a crap ton of damage, but it's going to be such a, like, your opponent's going to be able to get rid of this thing by the time you get any point, like, but they're maybe going to take that once, and then they're going to summon out, like, friggin' Honor Arc, and no, they can't. So, they're going to summon Dark Destroyer and Kamikaze. Or anything like that. That's like they're only out to this thing, though, like depending on like what deck you're playing against. Still, it's not gonna. Most decks are gonna have an out to this. Is my issue. During your opponent's end phase, activate one of the following effects: skip your next draw phase, or negate this card's effects until then your opponent's next standby phase. So basically, in order to keep doing the burn, you cannot draw. And this is the gimmick from the anime. I like that a lot. I like how to keep it the gimmick. And also the deck has other ways of drawing, even though skipping the draw phase. So, it's a good card, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing card. It's an amazing boss monster. But Cardians themselves are not very good, and the deck gets a lot of bricky hands. So I'm hoping that when Konami reveals to us the rest of the Guardian monsters, that they have been improved immensely from the anime, because the ones in the anime just weren't. They clog your hands so much. So we are getting Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. I have not had the pleasure of reading the Arc V manga, but I've read like the plot synopsis of it from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki, and I really want to read it. For those who don't know, basically the Arc V manga, it follows a completely different story from the anime. Basically, Yuya and Yuto are already like fused together. They're two people in the same body, and they can switch like who's in control at like any time they want to. But it's generally speaking Yuya who's in control. And they are searching for the like Genesis Overlord Dragon or something like that, and like they even like mention it in the manga that the acronym for that is God. So they're looking for this God dragon card, and it's so cool. Like everything that I've been reading about it, I want to read the manga. God dang it! The instant I hear news about it being brought over, I am pre-ordering that crap. Now that we're also getting a crap ton of the monsters and stuff from the manga, this is one of them. They also revealed Odd Eyes Persona Dragon a while ago, which was another Odd Eyes monster that is used in the manga. And I believe Phantom Knight's Brigadine, Tomb Shield, and Dark Claw, or whatever it's called, the 3 trap cards that are coming out in Premium Gold are from the manga as well. That's if I remember correctly. So, anyways, Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon, Dark Level 3, Dragon type, Pendulum Effect Monster. P Effect. By the way, he has 1200 attack, 600 defense. It's not bad for a level 3. Skill of 8, though. I like that a lot. Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, when a face-up Odd Eyes monster you control is destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can destroy 1 card in your Pendulum zones. If you do, place 1 face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster other than Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon from your extra deck into Pendulum zones. That's actually pretty useful. So, if your opponent like Dark Holes your Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, you can just put them into your Pendulum Zone. That is really nice. I like that a lot. It just allows you to just go, hey, you killed my monster, now it's in my Pendulum Zone, and hey, I get to search at the next end phase. It's a nice effect, and hey, he's got a skill of 8. This honestly kind of makes me want to build an Odd Eyes Dragon deck with nothing but the Odd Eyes Dragons and their support cards. So, next up is monster effect during your opponent's turn. If you control an Odd Eyes card in your Pendulum Zone, you can target 1 Odd Eyes monster you control once during this turn. That monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can only use this effect of Mirage Dragon once per turn. I like that effect too. It just lets you protect your big guys like Odd Eyes Rebellion, Odd Eyes Pendulum, wait, that's a girl. I thought Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon was next. Oh well. So it just lets you protect your Odd Eyes monsters a lot, which I like quite a bit. So yeah, I kind of wish I could protect your skills too, though. But oh well. So next up, Performer Pal Uni. By the way, can I just say I love the card arts on these things? And there's Performer Pal Corn, so let's get it, Uni, Corn, and these two also work very well together. So this is a level 4 Beast Warrior effect monster, 800 attack, 1500 defense. I wish those stats were switched. But hey, whatever. Also, since it's a Beast Warrior, you can now play Tenki in the deck if you want to. I mean, the Performer Pals already had a few Beast Warriors, but now there's enough to where you can actually play it if you do play these. So, during the main phase 1 of the turn this card was normal or spell summon, you can spell summon 1 level 3 or lower Performer Pal monster from your hand in attack position. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card and a Performer Pal monster, except Performer Pal Uni, from the graveyard. Once during this turn, you can make battle damage that you receive become 0. I like that effect a lot. It's not bad. I mean, the summon out another Performer Pal monster is pretty nice. But it's got to be level 3 or lower, and there's not many of those that you really want to summon. But she works with Performer Pal Corn. Level 3 Beast Warrior Light effect monster, 600 attack, 1000 defense. During the main phase 1 of the turn, this card is normal or special summon. You can target 1 Performer Pal monster with 1000 or lower attack that you control. Change that face-up attack position monster and this face-up attack position card to defense. And if you do, add 1 Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. I like that a lot, but here's the big issue. You gotta have both of these in your hand to be able to search out an Odd Eyes monster. And we got other ways to do that. I will say this though, I like the artworks, and I do like the effects, it's just they're not very great either. I mean, like, these are really just more for collectors, really. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card, and a perform a power monster except itself from your graveyard, gain 500 life points. For the effect, you gotta banish 2 perform power cards from your graveyard. I'd much rather gain 1,000. But, oh well, it's not bad. And again, I like these cards quite a bit, but their effects just aren't all that great. Or at least there's better versions. And holy mother of Jesus, we are finally getting this card. Number collectors, all just kind of... You guys are freaking out right now. Because I know I am. I really want this card. Sorry, I was trying to find the right word, and my brain is kind of spaced out. So, number 100, Numeron Dragon. We are finally getting this card, and that card artwork looks amazing. Like, holy crap, I want this card. Partly because of its artwork, and also partly because I have a number collection, and I really want this card. Seriously, look at this. I can't even tell where, like, his head comes from, and it's just, like, everywhere, and it just looks so cool. He's light rank 1 dragon type Xyz effect monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. He needs 2 number Xyz monsters you control with the same name and rank to go into. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, increase this card's attack by the total ranks of all Xyz monsters on the field by 1,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. I wish that was a permanent stat increase, okay? And, I mean, at minimum, he's going to get 1,000 attack points. But obviously, you're going to want to do that effect whenever there's a crap ton of Xyz out. When this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy all monsters on the field, and each player sets 1 spell trap card from your graveyard. I kind of wish it was just you who gets it, but oh well. It's nice that both players get a card. So, next up, when your opponent declares a direct attack, if this card is in your graveyard and you have no cards in your hand or on the field, you can spell summon this card from the graveyard. This card is okay. It's a cool card. I like the card artwork a lot. It looks like freaking Shenron. But the effects just aren't all that great. I mean, if this was a permanent stat increase, it'd be a lot better. But it's not. He's going to have 2 Xyz materials, so you get it twice, and then after that he has 0 attack and 0 defense. And if he's destroyed, both players get a card. And granted, though, that's only if he's destroyed by a card effect, but still, that's pretty annoying. Now, what is funny is that this is not a once per turn effect over here, so if your opponent has 5 monsters, you can just summon this guy 5 times and block all 5 attacks. I gotta say, though, that's hilarious. Next up is the Tripping Mercury. If I am correct, this is one of the planet monsters from the GX manga that we never got. If so, I am very happy because I've been wanting these cards to be printed for like ever. I mean, we got the Supremacy Sun, I believe. I'm pretty sure we got him. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that's like all we got, if I remember correctly. I know we got one of the planet monsters. I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure it's the Supremacy Sun that we got. So the Tripping Mercury, water level 8, aqua, effect 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense. For level 8, the stats are not all that great, but once you read his effect, you kind of understand why. When this card distributes summon, you can change all monsters on the field to face-up attack position. Okay, that's odd. When you can tribute 3 monsters to tribute summon this card. If this card is tribute summoned by tributing 3 monsters, as long as this card is face-up on the field, decrease the attack of all monsters your opponent controls by their original attack. So all monsters your opponent controls go to 0. Provided you tribute summon this guy using 3 monsters. That is really, really good. And this thing can attack twice during each battle phase. So, you can do 4,000 damage just for summoning this guy, pretty much. And provided your opponent doesn't negate his effect, or use any battle traps, or have anything that like does anything to stop this thing. I like this card a lot, but however, in this day and age, he's not all that great. I mean, I can see this thing being a funny little tech card in Pendulum decks, if nothing else. I mean, unless like the rest of the planet archetype basically makes it where all that is like to basically where all this is good. I mean, you can even see the manga version over here, and the name is in English, even though it's in even though it's for the Japanese. Like you can see the Japanese version of the name up there, but it's actually in English, which is awesome, actually, in my personal opinion. So, I mean, this card is really cool and everything, but unless the planet archetype itself has a way of consistently getting 3 monsters on the board, or at least even any amount of tribute fodder, it's not going to be all that great. I mean, aside from him being an occasional tech card in like Pendulum decks. So, some other news I just wanted to talk about. We are getting a Venom Magician Girl figure and an Apple Magician Girl figure. Not gonna lie, I want these because I'm a figure collector and I currently don't have any Yu-Gi-Oh figures because the Dark Magician Girl figures are stupidly expensive. And that looks to be about it. Wow. Okay, I thought there was more. I could have sworn I remember there being more. Oh yeah, there's some news about the new game, the Duel Links. Basically, it's kind of like the DT. It is basically the DT. Yeah, it's basically DT. But yeah, you actually have a deck. So guys, that is everything from Feed Jump minus the April 20th ban list, which I kind of want to have a discussion with Boomer about and do that, so we're going to save that for later. Not to mention this is currently going on 36 minutes. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to let me know what you think on any of these cards. I want all of them, except for that Performapal monster that has 0 attack and 0 defense, and is just very not great. He can go away for all I care. Anyway, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave what you guys think about the new cards announced in the comments below, and peace out, guys. See you later.